Hello and welcome to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, aka CovertGoBlue, the one and best of one, and I have a YouTube channel, CovertGoBlue, where I post daily MTG Arena content. This video is sponsored by Wizards of the Coast, so thank you very much, Wizards, for letting me make this Dominaria United mono red gameplay video for all of you. The idea of this deck is, of course, to be extremely aggressive and bring back mono red to its former glory. It is the excellent kind of casual MTG Arena ladder deck where the object is to beat the opponent as quickly as possible before they get established. In the new meta for the release of Dominaria United, 5-color domain is a very powerful and popular mechanic, so a lot of players will be playing 5-color decks. The best way to punish decks that are 5 colors and take a while to get set up and have all kinds of expensive lands in them and expensive cards in them is to kill them before they get to do any of those things. So a great meta call for trying out the ladder on MTG Arena is mono red aggro. This deck also has a number of new cards from Dominaria, and they're very powerful and will take our opponents by surprise today. The first card I want to talk about is Hammerhand. This is a reprint. It's a 1-mana enchantment aura. When it enters the battlefield, target creature can't block this turn, and the enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has haste. This is a deceptively powerful card that can just absolutely take away the opponent's ability to stop your creatures. Oftentimes mono red struggles with large creatures getting through the final points of damage, and the can't block ability is by far the most important thing on this card. Most of the other cards in this deck have haste already, so you usually don't worry about haste for Hammerhand, but there's one card that doesn't, and it's a very good one. It's Radha's Firebrand. This is the best card to put the Hammerhand on if you get the chance. It's 1 in a red for a 3/1, and when it attacks, target creature defending player controls with power less than Radha Firebrand's power can't block this turn. Wait a minute. Hammerhand also says a creature can't block this turn. So if you combine the two of the opponent's creatures can't block this turn, and they take a lot of damage. It's a very potent combination against people trying to get creatures onto the battlefield. There is no protection from them. All right, Domain. This is 5 in red for +2/+2 until end of turn. The ability costs 1 less to activate for each basic land type among lands you control. Activate once a turn. It's very powerful with the first ability for making larger creatures unable to block. And we'll always have at least one type, Mountain, because we got 21 of those. And that means that you're usually activating this for 5 total mana. It does come up sometimes, more than you would expect. Another exciting new card and adorable one is Phoenix Chick. 1 red for a 1/1 flying haste creature that can't block. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may pay red and red. If you do, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped, attacking with a cute little +1/+1 counter. The Phoenix Chick is a good recursive source of damage if you get multiple creatures on the battlefield, but even if you just play it as a 1-mana 1/1 flyer, it will usually do 3, 4, 5 points of damage across the span of the game because the opponent is going to have a hard time blocking a flying creature that hits the board that early and starts attacking right away. The next new card that I need to cover is Squee, the Dubious Monarch. This card is a very good rare, probably worth crafting one of for now, but it might be even better. You might want 2 or 3 in the future as we get our mono red groove going. So Squee Dubious Monarch is 2 in red for a 2/2 haste legend. When it attacks, you create a 1/1 goblin creature token that's tapped and attacking. So another haste creature. It kind of attacks for 3 the turn it comes down. You can cast it from your graveyard by paying 3 in a red and exiling 4 other cards from your graveyard rather than paying its mana cost. So if you have a whole bunch of cards in your graveyard from playing a longer game trying to battle through the opponent's forces, you can bring this back and attack for more, which is very, very strong as well. Then we have one more new card that I definitely need to cover, which is Shivan Devastator. Just as a one-of, it's a great top deck that can deal a ton of hasty damage out of nowhere. The red X flying haste Dragon Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. One of the great banes of mono red is drawing too many lands and not being able to finish the job. But say that you have 7 lands on the battlefield, your opponent is about to win, and you draw Shivan Devastator. If you were a good mono red mage, they probably don't have a lot of life left, and you slam this down and swing in for those final points of damage out of nowhere. It's a beautiful dream. Perhaps we shall live it today. The rest of the deck is built around being hasty and aggressive. So we've got Kumano faces Kakazan, we've got Bloodthirsty Adversary, we've got Reckless Stormseeker, we've got Thundering Raiju. We don't believe in waiting for Summoning Sickness to wear off. We believe in playing our creatures and turning them sideways right away to deal as much damage as possible. An important reprint for the deck is Lightning Strike. This card at instant speed can deal 3 damage to the face, and we can cast it twice if we have Bloodthirsty Adversary and the 2 and a red to kick it. So Lightning Strike kind of going through and finishing the game with 3 damage to face is going to be, I think, a very common part of this deck's play pattern. So try to save it, don't use it on creatures unless you really have to, and try to send it face to finish the game. All right, that's a discussion of the deck. Let's dive in. Let the mono-red ladder ranked nonsense begin. This hand looks nice, but it doesn't have a 2-drop, and it doesn't even have a 3rd land. So there's a lot of ways that this hand does nothing, so we're going to mulligan it. And this hand has a Shivan Devastator that we'll probably put back because we have to mulligan, and then we can turn 2 Rada or Adversary, turn 3 the next thing, and then Raiju, hopefully, if we draw land. Actually, this might be a better 3-mana play than either of these. So I think I'm putting away the Adversary instead, because if we play this as a flyer, it might get in a lot more damage. Especially on the draw, where our opponent's really likely to get established. Alright, black-white tapped land. Would you like to play Shivan Devastator for 0? No. No, I don't think I would. The Raven Man, a new 2/1 creature, and it makes 1/1 birds who can't block whenever players discard cards. That is fine with me. If they can't block, mono red does not care. Play with fire, we could kill it, but I'm not actually afraid of the Raven Man. That is Rafine's Tower, a tapped land, which makes me think the opponent's deck probably plays Rafine, and they have cut down to kill our Firebrand. Sad to see you go, but we'll play you again, because the top of our deck is very kind to us. And now if we want to, we can use Play with Fire on the Raven Man. Opponent is playing Liliana the Veil. The +1 makes us discard, the -2 makes us sacrifice a creature. Let's see what they choose to do.
Nobody knows Dominaria shadows.
Sacrifice a creature. Ah, another dead creature. All right.
Sacrifices must be made.
So should we kill the Raven Man? I've said before that I'm not afraid of the Raven Man, and we also could kill the Liliana. I think because my hand is very good with Thundering Raiju next turn and Devastator the turn after that, that I'm going to kill the Liliana. The opponent is not afraid of our haste creature, so they attack us with the Raven Man. And goodbye, Lily.
A delay, nothing more.
And here's our Thundering Raiju. Start punching the opponent's face. They're thinking about just saying go. This can only be activated as a sorcery. And when the opponent passes with mana open like this, I'm really wary of a card called the Wandering Emperor. So I think what I want to do this turn is just cast one of these Reckless Stormseekers. If I attack with both, the Wandering Emperor takes out the Thundering Raiju. If I attack with just the Stormseeker, the opponent might take out the Reckless Stormseeker, but then we still have the Raiju for the future. Ah, okay. They're just going to use an Infernal Grasp. They're not going to use a Wandering Emperor here. All right. We have them at 11, and we have 2 more haste creatures in our hand. Wedding Announcement's going to make 1/1 blockers on the ground. That's a problem for the Stormseeker, but not for the Devastator. Also, if we flip Day Night by not playing anything for a turn cycle, these go right through the Wedding Announcement. So that's pretty good too. They also still have mana open, which is scary. And I don't know when we're going to take a turn doing nothing. Doesn't seem likely anytime soon. I think with the mana open though, another card we have to be conscious of is Meat Hook Massacre. That eventually a Meat Hook for 3 could really wreck us. This is a tough call. But I think what I want to do is play Kumano Faces Kakazan. So we'll deal 1 damage to their face. Next turn, the next creature we play will have an additional counter. Then I'm going to play a second Reckless Stormseeker. But I'm actually not going to attack. Like a double block here, still deal 3 damage. Okay, forget it. I'm attacking. I'm not a coward. Ah, the opponent didn't give up the Raven Man. Okay, that says probably kill all your creatures Meat Hook time if they're attacking. And there it is. So they gain 2 life from that, which is not great. Don't worry, the Shivan Devastator and the Thundering Riju are going to try to make it up to us. I think we go with the Devastator here because it gets in the air, whereas this can chump block the Riju. And this is why this card is a really good include for the deck. They attack me again. Okay. Meat Hook for 4. Okay, this is okay because I think we can win now. They'll have another 1/1. Never mind, but it's still close. Land off the top. This turns into a 2/2. Riju comes down. These attack. I guess we'll put a counter here so the opponent can only absorb. They can't absorb 4 damage from if we had put the counter here. Plus it deals an extra. All right, just gonna play out the land. It's time to hope if they have another Meat Hook or another good card. Oh, and we would have had it anyway. That is the mono red way to do it. Our first victim. Being on the play is very important. I wish we had a 1-drop creature, but this hand is still a keep. We'll have to draw 1 or 2 lands. That's very doable, especially if we use Play with Fire to try to scry for them. All right, Thram Portal. Yes, you will take damage from your lands. I love it already. This is a great reason to hit the face with Play with Fire. And we'll put anything that's not a land on the bottom. As long as we draw lands, we should be doing very, very well this game. (3/1) on the battlefield, ready to keep you from blocking. Looks like our opponent is going to play something along the lines of 5-color Legends or 5-color Humans. And they take 1 to cast Catilda, a 1/1 that taps for mana of multiple colors. All right, let's play Reckless Stormseeker. Let's give it haste. Let's attack and make Catilda unable to block. Our opponent's almost half dead already. Let's see what they can do though now that they have extra mana from Catilda. Denic Pious Apprentice is a problem. This has lifelink. And Thalia is a 2/1 that makes our spells cost more. All right, we finally ran out of lands. The good news is that Rada's Firebrand can make the Denic unable to block, so we can still deal a lot of damage this turn. The bad news is that Bloodthirsty Adversary dies to the first strike of Thalia. So does Rada, to be honest, so that's a problem. Yeah, we've got trouble. We've definitely got trouble here. These creatures are very much in the way. I have to make the Thalia unable to block, which means the Denic gets to block, which is because the Thalia can definitely kill the Rada, which is a big problem. It's just a big problem. All right. So we'll play the chick. It'll give a bonus to the Stormseeker so that we're still hitting pretty hard. We'll attack with all. will make Thalia unable to block, which means the Denick is likely to block the Radha's Firebrand. Yep. Unfortunately, the opponent gains 2 life, and we lose our Firebrand. And now I'm going to also play the adversary. We could have played it and attacked that turn, but then the Denick can block the adversary. They gain 2 life, and we just lose the adversary. We'd still have the Firebrand, but I think that would generally be worse for us. All right, now the opponent has plenty of mana. Their life total isn't as low as we'd like it to be, and we missed a land drop. They need to take advantage with a big play. That's a very good play. Shana Purifying Blade is another lifelinking creature. They do go to 6 now from their own lands, which hurt them very bad. Now they are at 5. They have another lifelinking creature. Well, when every creature has lifelink, it's very difficult. Okay, we drew the land. We get to play the Thundering Riju. Now we get to threaten a very large attack. The Thalia can still kill anything too small, and this is going to definitely block something. I think that one of the best things we can do is put a lot of counters on our Phoenix Chick so it's hitting our opponent every single turn. So rather than attack with this creature, well, we really have to think this through. If we give a +1/+1 counter here from Thundering Riju, this is the 3, so the Thalia can't eat it. If we don't give a bonus here, the Shana can eat it. So we need everything to have 3 power. All right. Then I guess there's also the disturbing possibility of a double block from Thalia and Denick. But we just kind of have to battle through. The other thing is we can just power up the Chick. The Chick can just keep going every turn, but I think we have to force the opponent to get rid of some of their creatures, or I don't think we can realistically win this game. So I think we have to do this. Yep, that's a lot of life gain that they're going to get, but they do have to give up 2 of their life linking creatures. So we get them off the board and they don't do any more damage to us than they already have. The opponent goes to 0. Then they go back to 5. Their lands still potentially hurt them, which is, you know, it's kind of what we have going for us as we try to get the Phoenix Chick going. If we can run them out of life linkers, we can still battle through this. No, another one. They're at 4 though. If we can get, if they go to 3, Thundering Riju putting a counter on the Chick and using the trigger might be good enough. Actually, right now it is good enough. It is good enough because we would have 2 modified creatures. And the damage trigger from Thundering Riju is X to each opponent, where X is the number of modified creatures you control other than this. So this is a modified creature now. If we attack with this and put a counter here, that's 2 modified creatures. That's 2 damage. Then the Chick does 2 damage. Oh, except the Shana blocks first. No, that doesn't work. No. All right, they're at 3. My goodness. That's so close. And we have to do this again, I think. If we don't, we're certain to lose. This mountain is not what we wanted to draw. All right. We have to try again. But once again, it won't be good enough because the opponent can block with lifelink before the damage. So there's the blocks. Their creatures die again. Now they're at 4. Oh my gosh. Why won't you just die? The opponent has to tap super carefully because their lands hurt them. Oh no, that's a flyer! No! No, that's another land. That's so bad for us. Okay. I guess I'm going to not attack then. But we did flip to nighttime, which someday might make another Reckless Stormseeker able to kill the opponent. That is another legendary creature. What does this do? It makes a 1/1 at each end step. Okay. Oh, the opponent thinking about starting to attack. They do have to start somewhere. Like, at some point they have to attack. Okay. If we block here, the first strike will kill adversary, and the Phoenix Chick can't block. So we start taking damage. And the opponent makes a 1/1. That's the Stormseeker I talked about. Oh man. Now this creature has protection from werewolves, which means it can block 2 of the damage no problem. But this gives a +2/+0 bonus. We could give it to the Phoenix Chick, and the Sigarda would have to block it, which would make all the other humans weaker. If we attack with the adversary, it will definitely get blocked and probably bad things will happen. I think we want to trade this Phoenix Chick for the Sigarda, because if we do that, eventually we can probably get this damage through or find a way to get this Phoenix Chick back. All right, Sigarda is down. I'm just holding this land because they might think it's something else. It might make them play differently than they want to. It's a little bluff. It's an easy bluff to see through, but it's a little thing you can do when you feel bad about playing another land that you drew that you didn't need. The opponent tapping very carefully. They have these Denix in the graveyard that can come back as Pious Apparitions, 3/2 flyers. And they need to tap very carefully. Whoa, wait a minute. They just took 1 damage. What are they doing? Maybe they're not doing what I expected. Ah, they're activating Catilda to put +1/+1 counters on their creatures. Okay. And they're trying to keep attacking, but that's not large enough. Okay, Bloodthirsty Adversary, the draw that we needed. As we say on the channel, when we get lucky, never didn't have it. This will be a very bad example of what to do here, because we forgot to play our land, and Thalia means that we can't cast this playing with fire. Very, very bad. Okay. So what do I do? Thalia can kill one of these. Now that I've messed up royally, what do I do? Get sponsored, screw up. Well done. Let's see. If I give this the +2/+0, the opponent will block with at least these 2 creatures, and that will really wreck me. So I don't think I even attack here. I think I wait. We can still draw a Lightning Strike and win, but if I could have used a Play with Fire there on the Thalia or the Catilda, or heck, even the face. Magic isn't always forgiving of those mistakes, but the good news is that mono red can be. Sometimes you can just draw what you need. All right, our opponent passed the turn. We drew Lightning Strike. It goes to face. Never punished. Never didn't have it. Okay. Wow, they made that difficult. And I made it difficult on myself. But mono reds, sometimes you just get away with it. And we are back for the post-game wrap, where we talk about the deck, how it did, and what we think about it going forward. And from the first few games, you can already feel the power. The deck has relentless damage potential that really keeps opponents on their toes. The new cards from Dominaria United have added a much-needed boost to the power level of the mono-red deck in general. Radha's Firebrand, in particular, is extremely threatening. The Phoenix Chick's early damage is hard to stop, and Shivan Devastator can certainly show up and do the finishing light touches and go right over the top of cards like Wedding Announcement that are sure to be very, very popular. So I do think that this deck is an excellent deck to craft, pick up, and play for somebody either getting into the game or returning to the game now that Dominaria United has brought some fresh blood to the meta. So do I think you should play mono red aggro if you like aggro strategies and ranking up quickly and a little bit of gold? And let's face it, who doesn't? Mono red might be exactly the deck for you. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video. Check out my YouTube channel, CovertGoBlue. And what do I say at the end of the video? Oh yeah, now I remember. I look right in the camera and I let you, the viewer at home, know you're cool.